at this time of the Pisces new moon, we are being called to plant seeds that are going to help to propel us forward, but are also going to help for us to manifest the best of our lives. But not only that, we are becoming. Spirit right now is saying that we are becoming. But right now, what we're being called to do is to write, to reflect, to get things down, to get things written in our journals, to script, and to also really recall our dreams, because the universe, our guides, greetings and gratitude, everyone. If y'all are new here, my name is Cassandra. I'm the witch, author, and poet in Magic of Eden. Welcome to your new spiritual safe haven. If y'all are returning, hey family, welcome back to our sacred garden. I'm always honored, excited, and elated to be in your presence. I wanted to come on here to give you guys a quick message about some things that I have been feeling and some things that I have been seeing. And I'm hoping that this message serves as a timeless message and that you are able to apply this in any moment, in any time, anywhere, any day. I don't care what it is, where you are. All I care about is the fact that you're able to apply these messages again in your life in a way that is conducive to you and also in a way that is divine. So I know, and I've been feeling a lot like people have been in a space where they're not sure. Like, it's the space of uncertainty that I feel like people are in right now, which I 100% do get, because there are so many things that are changing and happening in our lives right now. And I feel like we've been trained and programmed recently in these more modern times to rush and to get, somewhere fast, or to get to nowhere fast and quickly. And I have really been having this feeling to tell you guys to, again, slow down and really think about the things that you're doing, and really think about what you are, where you are, and why you're here, because there's a lot of people right now who are stepping more into their purpose, and a lot of people have been called to slow down. And the reason is because we are all going through a major shift and transformation on a microscopic level and also on a macroscopic level. I feel like right now there are so many people who feel lost, they feel uneasy, they feel uncertain, they feel turbulent, they feel chaotic. There are a lot of things that are going on astrologically, and there are a lot of things that are going on in our own lives. And I know that there have been a lot of things that people have been dealing with. And one of the main things that I have been picking up on is the fact that people are going through an intense, and I mean an intense time of introspection. And it almost kind of comes off as people have been doing a lot more shadow work, which makes a lot of sense because we are approaching this Pisces new moon, which does deal with shadow work. It does deal with the void, and it does deal with our internal, not only our imagination and our creativity, but also our intuition, and it deals with this darker space. Now, on that note, or in that spirit, I'm saying this because at this time of the Pisces new moon, we are being called to plant seeds that are going to help to propel us forward, but are also going to help for us to manifest the best of our lives. But not only that, we are becoming. Spirit right now is saying that we are becoming. But right now, what we're being called to do is to write, to reflect, to get things down, to get things written in our journals, to script, and to also really recall our dreams, because the universe, our guides, our ancestors, first and foremost, our ancestors are speaking to us quietly. But also the quietness that they're speaking to us in is also, it appears to be very loud. And the reason is because we're all in this space where we're being called to quiet down, to quiet our logical minds. In fact, we're being called to turn off our logical minds. And the reason why, and now it's not to say that you don't need logic. It's not to say that, but what it is to say is that your intuition is what's going to help you right now in this time. And the reason is because your intuition is always going to lead you to the right reasoning. Right now, not everything is making sense, and it's perfect. And the reason is because it allows you to go inward. It allows you to go within your own space, into your own internal void. Now, I always say this, you guys know, if you guys go back to some readings that I've done in the past, I always love to equate the void to this vast womb space in which all things exist. It's this internal darkness, or this darkness in which all things exist. And it's this playground in which you can pull wisdom, where you can pull insight, and you can also pull creativity, and whatever it is that you want. into existence. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that I want you guys to remember that when you're going into this internal space, there are so many things that you will see. You will see parts of yourself that you are not used to seeing. You will start to see through other people, whether it be through conversations, whether it be through reading books or esoteric symbolism or tarot cards, whatever it is, your divination sessions, different parts of you that you did not know needed your attention, and different parts of you that you are not used to dealing with and seeing. I'm going to say this right now. One of the main things that Spirit wants us to do while we are in this internal space, while we're in this void, is to have patience and also to have grace. And the reason is because Pisces connects to our intuition, yes, but it also points to us going into the space of shadow work. Now, some of the crystals, or one of the main crystals actually, that I've been called to not only work with, but to also share with you are obsidians. Now, I don't have the obsidian on me at this moment, but the reason why I was called to share obsidian with you was because obsidian, especially when you're using it to scribe with, can actually help you to tune into your own internal space so that you can reveal to you the things that you have been suppressing, reveal to you the things that have been lying dormant, or the things that you've been pushing off to the side, the things of that nature. And when you set your intention to reveal these things, even if they don't come to you in visions, they will come to you in your waking life. And sometimes it is not always favorable. And this is the reason why Spirit is wanting you to have grace with yourself, especially because Mars just went direct. It was about 2 days ago, and we are still in the post-shadow period for Mars retrograde. Now, the reason why this is important is because a lot of people who are going through this introspective phase are seeing the more aggressive sides. They're seeing where they have the ability to assert their will. They have been seeing more of their ability to fight. They've been feeling very aggressive. They've been feeling very just erratic and chaotic and very dominating in a way that is very unfavorable. For some people, they've been seeing a lot more of their toxic masculinity. And it does not mean that it is just about a man. I'm talking about beings. It does not matter how you identify. Masculine energy, just masculine energy. And I feel like this is the perfect time for us to start to really lean into our divine femininity. And I say that, and I'm loving this because I actually have cowrie shells that I've been working with. Cowrie shells have definitely been a game changer for me in my work. And I say that, and not even just in my work, but also just in my life in general. And I say that because, again, with us going through this introspective phase, we're leaning into this negative space or this dark space, which truly is our divine femininity. And so our divine femininity has been showing us where our masculinity has become toxic. And this looks like, for some people, the things that I mentioned, the aggressiveness, the being impulsive, right? Us asserting our will instead of us attracting and leaning into our receptivity. And these are all things that are shifting and changing. And I feel like the reason why is because we're learning that these different aspects of ourselves now have to be integrated in a way that is productive, in a way that is appropriate, and also in a way that is divine. And so we're being shown all of these different elements of ourselves. And the perfect thing, the most beautiful thing about all of this is the fact that it's happening during the time of the new moon in Pisces. And the reason is because, again, we are going to be implementing these things into our work, into our relationships in a way that is positive or in a way that is more favorable. And I feel like Spirit right now is asking us to think about the things that have been going on in our lives. And Spirit is asking us, okay, what have you learned? What was your role in this? And are you learning from your mistakes? Are you still repeating the same past cycles and patterns? Or are you devil card reverse, releasing yourself of the curse that you place upon yourself, the curse that people have placed upon you? How are you allowing yourself to become free from these restraints? And the best way that Spirit is saying is that we can become free is by breaking the pattern. But the way that we break the pattern in the cycle is by going through this introspective phase. Now, I wanted to offer a few words of encouragement for anyone that may be struggling during this time. And I say that because I know that going through this void or going through this uncertain time can be very unsettling, and it can be very chaotic, and it can be, in a way, make people very uncomfortable, and it can feel unsafe. Now, the best thing that I can give to you right now is the reassurance that you are not alone on this journey, that there is a community of people who love you, and that you yourself can also provide that safe space for yourself. You just have to know that you can, and you have to create it for yourself. And the reason why you have to do this is because when you do this, the universe is going to respond to you. Your guides are responding to you. But not only that, your guides are also creating a safe space for you now. In fact, they've already done it. That is the reason why you have an altar. Now, remember, if you don't have an actual altar, like how, I have or other people have, remember that you are the altar. So that means that you have to go within yourself to create the space. But that means that you have to trust yourself in this moment of darkness. Trust yourself as you are floating off into the void. Now, this has everything to do with trust and surrender and just allowing the divine to speak to you. You are being called into this void because the divine is speaking to you. It is time for you to listen. That's the reason why we've been slowing down, or that we've been called to slow down along our journey, because it is time for us to listen to the divine. We have been distracted way too much with these phones, these gadgets, and, with short, media where it's like short form content and things like that. Our minds are constantly moving and going, and we're constantly on edge, and we feel anxious and things of that nature. We're really being called to slow down. And not only that, when we slow down and we listen to spirit, we then get intuitive insights. We then get intuitive wisdom that we can apply in our own lives, and we allow ourselves to increase our magnetism. And that's the reason why spirit has been calling us to slow down. Now, speaking of which, I also want to mention too that now would be the perfect time, if you haven't been doing this, to start to write your dreams down and to start recalling your dreams. Talk about your dreams out loud, or to a friend, or to your partner, or whoever. And the reason why this is important is because your dreams are highly symbolic, right? For some of you guys, your dreams are very literal, but for everybody, our dreams are very symbolic, right? And our subconscious mind speaks to us through symbols, right? It speaks to us through numbers, through images, through colors, right? It's so many ways our subconscious mind speak to us, right? And then our conscious mind can then pick up on it, but you have to be aware enough. That's the reason why you have to write your dreams down, or it is beneficial, right? You don't have to. If you want to, you can take a voice recorder, you can record your dreams or record yourself saying it, go back and listen to it. I like to write it down because at times, right, if I have time for it, then I'll write it down. And other times when I'm like on the go or something like that, or if I just kind of recall, I'll pull up my voice recorder or my phone or whatever, and then I'll say it. But for the most part, I like to put my dreams in a journal because that writing process allows me to connect. It allows me to connect with my intuition, and I'm in the moment, because something for me will come through, like a download or a vision or something else that would be complementary to the dream that I'm writing down. So that is imperative. That's important. But the reason why you want to do this as well is because every time you write anything down, it becomes a sacred text, especially when you're using your intuition, right? And that is a moment in time, right, where when you are writing it down, that you can see things clearly. You can go back and you can read it, but you can also allow your intuition to flow through to give yourself the intuitive messages, right? You can allow yourself to really tune into the moment when you're writing these things down. It's so imperative. It's a game changer. I love writing my dreams down. And it also is a great way to keep a record of your dreams on paper, right? Because leaving a paper trail means it happened. Anyway, and also if things happen, with your phone or whatever, if you mistakenly lose it, or if it gets stolen, or you don't have access to it, you always have a hard copy. Always keep a hard copy of the things that you need. I don't know why that's coming through, but always keep a hard copy. Anyway, so basically, yes, these are all different things that are coming through. Another thing that's coming through is the fact that once you do get accustomed to writing these things down, I want you to start, right? Especially when you're in your internal void, I want you to think of the best life that you possibly can, and I want you to script it. Now, scripting is basically where you merge your intuition with your creativity and your imagination, of course, and you are writing out what you see for yourself, and you're speaking in terms as if you already have it. My man is this. My Bentley is this. I have so amount of whatever, right? I am my highest version. My hair is big and curly and blonde or brown or whatever, right? And you basically create this story that you are living. And now if you really want to do something, if you really want to work some magic, what I would suggest, right, is that you take a journal specifically for you writing out or scripting out your life. I want you to charm it. And on the first or second page, after you charm it, you put your oil on it and all that good stuff. I want you to take a pen. I want you to keep that pen for that specific journal. And I want you to take an oil, a manifesting oil, and I want you to anoint that pen and then create a sigil for that journal. And then in that journal, I want you to script every chapter of your life, and I want you to see it all play out. That is your magical journal. Create a magical journal. That is what's coming through. I love it. I'm here for it. Create that magical journal. But the reason is because you are the boss. You are the head honcho of your life. You are the one, right, that is front and center. And it's time for you to do what you can do. Now, that leads me to my next point. The fact that at the time of this new moon in Pisces, the new moon is happening in the 6th house, and we also have a stellium there in the 6th house. Now, the 6th house does connect to Virgo energy. Now, remember, Virgo is a practical sign. Even though it's ruled by Mercury, it's a practical sign because it's Earth. Now, this is where a game plan comes into play. Virgo is known for its practicality and its foresight and its ability to have a plan just in case things go south. Virgo is one of those signs that picks apart different things. It finds a problem and then it tries to fix it through practical means. All right. Now, this basically means that your greatest hopes and wishes, the things that you see for yourself, your life, whatever this is, you want to make sure that you have a plan for that, but also do what you can do. Virgo is a sign that reminds us to stay in our lane and do what it is that we can do. And also what I'm hearing is like the word collaboration. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys have been seeing the 3 of Cups in your readings, or the 3 of Wands, or whatever it may be, or maybe even the Lover's card, like any, or 2 of Cups maybe, right? Where you have these divine collaborations where people can do, I'm hearing like to like be like a part of a team. It's almost kind of like where you are collaborating with other like-minded individuals. You're surrounding yourself in a room with other people who have your best interests at heart, and everybody just kind of does what they do in the best way that they know how, and it benefits everybody. Like, everybody's getting paid. We're all doing this, and we're all collaborating and using our special gifts and our talents and things of that nature, right? Now, this to me is beautiful because I'm actually being brought to a vision of where people, humans, us, right, spiritual beings have a human experience, and dolphins, how they would work together in order to, not just coexist, but to get what we needed, right? We would talk to dolphins. We would communicate with them, of course. They would go out and, bring the fish in, and we would also throw the fish out to them. That way they get a ration of fish, and then we receive their hope, and then we get fish so that we can eat, right? Now, this to me is so divine because I'm hearing the words nature speaks. It's almost kind of like everybody remembering what their role is, everybody remembering what they're here to do, and us returning back to these different types of energies so that we can all remember how to co-create together and how to exist together harmoniously. Now, if you guys don't know this, I'm a Taurus rising. I'm all about harmony, and I'm all about balance, and I'm all about transcending beyond our pain and our suffering in a very creative and beautiful way. That's the reason why I love poetry. It's the reason why I'm a writer. It's the reason why I'm a poet. I love to use my artwork in order to help other people, and also I'll use art in my work, of course, because of course I'm here to merge the arts of poetry and magic. You guys see it. You guys know. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you will. And that's essentially what I'm picking up on. It's us not only co-creating together as spiritual beings, right, as humans, right, because, it's also us working with nature, working with our animal friends, working with, dogs, cats, our domestic friends, right? And also those other beings that are not so domesticated, but also respectfully. There's a need for respect and reverence here, but also patience and understanding. And the reason is because Mars taught us that, or Mars being in retrograde, what we learned, or what we should have learned, was how to slow down and how to pay attention. You guys may have been seeing the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 a lot recently. That was Spirit's way of saying, I need you in the moment right now. I don't need you to rush. I don't need you to fight forward. I don't need you pushing anything up a hill right now. What I need you to do is let the boulder fall, let the boulder roll. And I need you to sit and meditate. I'm seeing somebody meditate on top of a hill right now, and they're soaking in the sun. And the reason why this is because the sun gives you information, because it's all energy, and what is energy if not information. And you're receiving this information that can help you. I feel like Temperance card energy is also present, but the reason is because you want to make sure that you are in tune. You are walking the middle way. You are in the heart space. You're in the hearth. You're in the home. You're in your home. You're in your body. And the reason for this is because you want to connect, but you want to connect authentically, and you want to connect divinely. So when you are connected to yourself, you then are in tune with nature, and you are also in tune with everything that nature has evolved, everything that nature has birthed, right? You yourself are also a part of nature. You are not separate from it. You are just a conscious being having a human experience, and you're learning how to use your intuition. You're learning how to use your intellect to create the life that you want because of your state of awareness. So, wow, all of that to say that now is the time, because I went on a tangent. I always go on these tangents, man. Anyway, so basically what I feel, and I'm going to be pulling cards. We're going to be, speaking of nature, we're going to be using our animal, I think it's our animal totem tarot. Yep, our animal totem tarot is what we're going to be using. This deck has been so good to me. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. It's so amazing. So basically, anyway, it's definitely time for us to have a plan. And I feel the need to say, hi, babe. Okay, that was my babe piece right there. Anyway, so basically, yes, we need a plan, and this is the time. And I feel like if you guys have been wanting to, Page of Wands energy, go back to whatever business plan you may have had. Go back to whatever you guys have been wanting to do. And the reason why I say that is because we are in a time right now where, because Uranus is still transiting in the sign of Taurus, things are uncertain when it comes to land, when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to money, when it comes to resources. And what you want to do is you want to understand that now is the time for us to really start to trust in our own ability to create for ourselves. But also we are being called to really tune into our own individuality, our own uniqueness, to see what can I bring to this dynamic that is going to help everybody win, but also it's going to help, for me to win. And so that is what Uranus is teaching us, moving through the sign of Taurus. Also, nothing is ever for certain, but there are some things that we believe that are destined, that are fated, and that's fine. But there are some things that we don't understand, and there are some things that we are just not going to know. It's not meant for us to know everything, because if it was, we wouldn't have a spiritual team, and we would have never manifested here. We would have never came here if it were meant for. Speaking of the Page of Wands, look at what's at the bottom of the deck. The Page of Wands. Okay, can you guys see that? I hope y'all can see that, because I need y'all to see this. Okay, screw it, whatever. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands here, which I love. I love this. Okay, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it because, again, this is also you having like going back to have a plan, or to create a plan for that initial idea that you had. Like, it's so amazing, and I just love it. So for this Pisces new moon, I really want you to start to tune into the void, tune into your creativity, allow yourself to do your shadow work, because you doing your shadow work is going to allow you to pick certain things out, to implement certain things, and to transform. I don't know why this feels like transcendental. Five of Swords energy is also here. I'm also seeing here the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and I'm going to keep on shuffling. Oh, okay. Oh, Two of Wands energy is also here, which I do love that. That points to visions and things of that nature. Ace of Swords. I want you to be very careful as to the things that you're saying right now. And also, I just heard the word apologize. If you guys have done something during this Mars retrograde period, I would go back and I would definitely apologize. Take accountability for the things that you have done, and try your best not to beat yourself up over things that you could have done better. We are all learning. I want you guys to remember something, and this is something that I feel like not enough of us talk enough about. We, to our core, are learning how to take the animal within us and implement it in a way that is constructive, and implement that animal in a way that is beneficial to all of us, right? So the anger, the rage, our aggression, our passion, we are learning how to implement these things in healthy ways to help us rise above our pain and our suffering. That's what this is all about. And the matrix can be so difficult because you have so many agents out here. Your agents are your friends, your family, right? Your cousins, your sisters, your brothers, they agents out here. And I say that because these are like tests to see how far we've come, but also not everything is a test. Sometimes you are meant to be the one to teach, right? Like, you are meant to be the one to teach them, and you teach them not always by going and being with them or doing it directly, but sometimes you just being in your authentic light, and you being and doing what you do best is your way of teaching others. And that's what this is all about. It's all about us teaching each other and learning how to not traumatize each other. Like, one thing that I learned about this whole thing and going through our life and my journey and whatnot and studies and things of that nature is that we're here to learn how to not traumatize each other, man. Like, it's one of those things where I feel like we don't mean to do things like this, right? And I say we because I'm a part of the collective, just like you. We do things and we don't always know what we're doing, and we traumatize each other, and it's like the worst thing. I'm derailing a little bit, but it's fine. It's one of those things where it's like you have these conversations and you get mad or you get triggered, right? Like your ego is like fragile, and then you get pissed, and then you're just like, you know what? I effing hate you, like whatever, like I hope you yada 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 whatever, and then you just say things because you're mad or you're upset. That's the animal within you coming out to attack, right? Like that's your lower nature coming out to attack, to overpower, to dominate, to make them feel how you felt. You want to get back at them, and there's all these things, and then the other person is like, well, what did I do? I don't understand why why you're doing this to me, like why you're hurting me and things of that nature. It's just a big, not game, but for lack of better terms, it's like a big game of figuring out how can I be better so that I can not traumatize the other person, right? And it's so interesting because I feel like this transit has been revealing a lot of that. It's been revealing people's need to dominate for the sake of having control. And right now, this Pisces new moon is telling you, babe, you have no control. The only thing you can control is what you're doing. That's the reason why you're seeing this 1, 2, 3, 4, or this 11, 23, right? Or whatever it may be, these sequence of numbers, right? Going in chronological order. And I feel like this is Spirit's way of saying, like, you've never had control. You've never had it. You've just simply been led, right, to follow, or you are in a space in your life where you're meant to follow your intuition, because the destination is always going to be there. And so you're learning how to pace yourself along the journey. And I feel like with this Pisces new moon, it's teaching us how to be patient, how to dive into our internal void, how to listen to our guides, how to listen more to divine guidance without our egos getting in the way, or without us feeling threatened. I feel like we're in a space right now where we're like, you know what? I'm slowing down. Slow and steady wins the race. The tortoise and the hare. And I'm going to be the tortoise one here. Like, I'm going to be the tortoise. Like, I'm no longer in a rush to get nowhere, or I'm not in a rush to get here, because think about it. When you're rushing, you are wanting to get to this destination quickly, but then what else? Did you enjoy yourself? Did you like what you saw? Did you learn anything? Right? And this is the reason why it's important for us to slow down. Anyways, going back to the cards that we have, the Ace of Swords reminded me to say again, to apologize. Justice card is also at the bottom of the deck, and we are going to be pulling that card out. Oh my goodness, you guys, we've been talking for 30 minutes. I'm going to pull a few more cards, and we're going to go ahead and turn this video off because we've been talking for a minute. I went on a tangent. What was I even talking about? A lot. Okay, anyway. So basically, oh my goodness, a fresh start. Here we go. I love this. And the reason why I love this is because with this fresh start, I feel like all of these cards here are really just kind of, they are complementary to what we already feel intuitively, which I believe is great. There's something that I also want to tell you before we go. While I want to wrap up these cards here, the last thing that I'm seeing here, yes, it definitely is time to return to that old idea or that previous idea. And also, I'm hearing like the words divine truth. I feel like there are some things that you may have been seeing in your visions. I want you to write those visions down, because those visions are the very things that I want you to feed. Okay? Those visions are the seeds that I want you to implement and plant, and I want your actions to be the fertilizer. I want your actions to be what gives it life, what gives it life. I want your words to be the breath that you put into it. I want your feelings to be the emotions, to be the water, right, that you implement or that you give to these seeds for nourishment. That's what I want you to do, okay? I want you guys to also remember that, I don't know why I'm hearing like what goes around comes around. If someone has been doing something to you they are going to come to a really hard realization about what they've done. They will give you an apology, more than likely, if they are divine, and it's going to get better from there. Okay? That is what I'm feeling. Also, I do feel like this is a green light for you to start getting that ball rolling. Invite some people onto your team right now, especially because this is 6th house energy we're talking about. This 6th house energy does have to do with coworkers, collaborations, well, really coworkers and things like that. Your day-to-day routines. Make sure that your day-to-day routines are complementary to what your goals and visions are. For example, if you wanted to become a basketball player, your day-to-day routine should consist of you juggling that ball, you going up and down that court, you exercising, you going on jogs, right? If you're going to be someone who is an intuitive, we're speaking of intuition, we have the moon here. And this is connecting also to Pisces and also Cancer for the moon. And also Queen of Cups is also here. I want you to have grace for yourself. See, this is all coming into alignment. Have grace. So yes, make sure that your routines are, again, complementary and are supportive of what you are accomplishing in the world. Also, you are getting the engine back rolling. I'm hearing someone start up a car. Get your cars checked. I said that in another reading, and I'm going to say it again. Get your car checked. Check your fluids, check your batteries, check your tires. I want you to check your tires. I want you to get your engine checked out, your transmission fluid. Just get a tune-up, okay? Check your spark plugs. I know that for you guys, for me, it's been winter here. I'm in Virginia, and shout out to moving to Virginia. Anyway, so yes, get that stuff checked out, your motorcycles, your bikes, and things of that nature. I also want you to get your feet done. I want you to soak your feet. I want you to get a pedicure, if you will, or whatever. I want you to take care of your feet, take care of your crown, especially because the original ruler of Pisces actually was Jupiter, or is Jupiter. And that has everything to do with the crown. I want you guys to, if you want to wear your turbans or whatever you want to do, right? Wear your scarves, or if you have weave, whatever, you can still do it, honey. Like, do you. But that's essentially what I'm seeing. Page of Pentacles, have a plan. Stop it. Okay, have a plan. I'm loving this. I'm loving our time here together. I was really excited to come on here because I just enjoy doing videos for y'all. Like, I love it. Last two things. Okay. This book here, I'm so passionate if you guys can't tell. So this book here, Planetary Magic, is essential. And the reason why it's essential, y'all, is because this book has so much information. It has precisions in it. It has the correspondences for plants, for trees, for animals, for each of the 7 original planets. It just basically shows you everything that you would, well, not everything, but a good amount of information that you would need for working with the planets directly. It has rights of contact and different, for the planetary bodies, the 7 original planets being the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus. And yes, those are your 7 original planets, and it has information on how you can work with those planets. These days, because things are so uncertain, I would definitely be working with those planets directly. And the reason why I say that is because, yes, I'm a moon woman. I love working with the moon. I love when my wild side comes out to play. I love nighttime. I'm nocturnal. I love it. It's when I come alive. Yes. However, I also love working directly with the planets. And also when I see fit to work my magic, I say that because there is so much wisdom that can be pulled from these places. There is so much wisdom and magic and understanding that can be pulled from these planetary bodies. And what I've learned along my journey is that working directly with these planets via meditation, via talking to them out loud, setting up altars and things like that, having different things around, different totems and different objects and whatnot to work with that planet, and also taking those wisdoms out into the world. It's a game changer for my magic. It's a game changer for my life. And I really love that. The main way that I do love to work with these planets directly is by creating a fixed candle that corresponds with that planetary energy, especially in a way that I'm being affected right now. For example, if your Mars, let's just say, is in the 1st house, you may have a very strong, very vibrant, very fiery, very assertive personality, right? But let's just say Mars is transiting your 4th or your 3rd house, right? And Mars was retrograde. You have a very strong personality, but the way that you're coming off to some people may be overbearing. It may, the way that you communicate may be very fiery, or you may not be really taking the time to think about what you're saying. I would apply or I would create actually a candle, a fixed candle, to help me pull wisdom from Mars to say, how can I do better with my communication and how I come off, and how can this be more beneficial to my overall sense of self, right? That's how I would work with the planet Mars in that instance, right? Now, in that instance, your herbs are going to change, your oils are going to change, your whatever else is going to change, right? Because you're working with it at that time. Now, I'm not going to go into that right now fully. I only said that because I wanted to give you like a little sneak peek as to what we're going to be talking about further on this channel. And yes, that is essentially all that I have to say. We've been talking for a minute now, and yeah, I gotta go edit. So I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video and get all the really major mistakes out, and then I'll be just kind of allowing myself to just kind of go off on a whim. And I'm hoping that you got what you needed out of this video. If you guys need anything from me, please feel free to visit me online at CassandraTurner.com. If you guys want to, you guys can also follow along with me over at Magic of Eden. Online, I do have a spiritual shop where I do offer spiritual essentials, and I also do offer the things that you would need to help you enhance your spiritual life. And also, I have books available online as well, because I am also an author and a poet. I love poetry. I love writing. And yes, everything will be linked down in the description box. I'll also make sure that I link everything down in the comment section. And if there's nothing else that I can help you with, I love you. Thank you so much for spending time with me here today. And I will catch you in my next video.